would say that being on the team has impacted my life in many ways. One of them being the fact that when I first got on the team, I felt like I had such low self-esteem when it came to like believing in myself. So just seeing other people believing in me, whether that was my band director, whether that was Miss Crowley, my sponsor, or my captain, just seeing so many people push me to my full potential, like, that's amazing. Like, and I feel like I carry that confidence with me to this day that I got. And also just being able to mentor and inspire other dancers or other people who watch me dance, or, you know, that's, I don't know, that's like the best feeling ever. Like when I get a mentee and they be like, I looked up to you like when you were, and I'm just like, oh baby, like, but yeah, that's definitely the best thing.
Well, me being a Golden Girl from Alcorn State University, when she told me she wanted to try out, I was like, really? You're not going to try out for Golden Girls? She was like, no. She was going to try out for J6. So when she tried out and she made the team, she came home and she told me, it was like we both were excited. I literally fell on the floor with her. She was just happy. That's all I can say. But I wanted to be there to support her with everything that she does. I supported her at every game, even though sometimes I struggled to get there. But I got there because I wanted her to know that she would see my face in that stand. I wanted her to see that her mom supported her in everything that she does, even though she became a J-Set and not a Golden Girl.
How is auditions? Is it nerve-wracking? Do you feel like being there amongst other girls that are already on the team, being there amongst sponsors and coaches who have been there before, like, how does that really feel to you? Like, how does that make you feel coming in brand new? I don't know anybody, don't know, like Amber said, if I'm gonna make it, so I'm gonna go to the team that got my best choice of making it. Like, how does that really feel?
I think every year brought something different. My freshman year, I think we were in a room like over 100 girls. All the way down to my very last year, we're in a room with just 25. And I think both settings were very, very intimidating. Just because you never know what the team, how many dancers they want that year. So you have over 100 girls wanting 2-3 spots, but then you also have just 25 girls wanting those 2 and 3 spots. So I think it's just all about how you go into it, but you have to be consistent throughout every single year that you try out. Because I know in our case, you know, it's the next year is not promised, and I think that's really for everybody. But so you just have to be consistent, and if you go in just so amazing your first year, that means you have next year you have to top that, and the year after that you have to top that. You got to keep topping it. So yeah.
My personal experience, I feel like well, basically coming in, I guess that first year, that's your first time ever being in a collegiate setting at an audition around a whole bunch of strangers and people that you admire. Going to camps prior to that really prepared me mentally. So rather than me being so anxious and nervous, I kind of feel like, oh, okay, this is another camp. Like, okay, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna have fun. Let me just give my personality. I want to leave a mark on somebody. I'm having a good time. And even though I might be a little delusional, Delulu is a Salulu for sure. So literally, as long as I kept thinking, oh, I'm having fun, I'm amongst other Golden Girls that I want to be just like, I just kind of looked at it like it was just a really great day, which is like very optimistic. But I promise you, your mind is what butchers everything for you. Like, the more that you just think about things and stress about it, the worse it's gonna be. When honestly, girl, it's not that deep. I promise you're gonna be okay.
So I kind of wanted to come from the perspective of someone who tried out twice, because we had like a spring audition and we had a summer audition, and I did not make it that spring. audition. And so Cam kind of knows this because she's been my best friend since I was 16. And so when I didn't make the team, like I was very like sad, I was depressed or whatever the case may be, but like I had people around me like who motivated me, like if this is your dream, like if this is something that you really want to do, then go for it. And so like I just want to say, like, even if like you do try for something and you do not make it the first time, please do it again. Because if I didn't do it again and if I didn't try, I would have never gotten those opportunities. I would have never made the team. I wouldn't even be sitting here amongst these beautiful ladies and talking to you all. So yeah.
Last thing, we're all talking about dance, but I would take myself out of the dance aspect and I would think about who I am as a person. How do you carry yourself on social media? What do you post? What are you dressing like? How are you presenting yourself? Because when you step into these auditions, somebody already knows what you've been doing before you got there. And then when you get there, the same attitude that you had there, you're gonna bring it there, and we don't want that on that team, okay? So you still have to be mindful of who you are and what you wanna present yourself as and how you wanna brand yourself, and you need to be heavy on that because you can be the best dancer in the world, but you can have the worst attitude or you can have the worst type of social media. Those are all things that y'all need to be thinking about, okay?
Absolutely. And
when I got into that setting and I would sit down with the sponsors and they would pick, who, and they would talk to us during our one-on-one, they would say it's less about your technique and more about who you are, who you come as. They see you, like she said, they feel the type of person that you are. So you want to make sure that you're coming with authentically who you are. But if there's some things, look, hey, that might not represent that very well. It's okay to alter, some things because you have a goal to meet. So it's worth it when you want something. So I want to talk about how you guys felt when you actually made the team for the first time.
I was very, very happy. And I said that because before I became a Stingette, I was like, kind of like a crazed Stingette fan. I don't want to say crazed, that's too much. Just a Stingette fan. And I remember after making the team, immediately they called us in the room. And because they called us so many times, like we're dancing back to back. So you never really know if they're calling you because they like what they see you or they're just comparing you to somebody else. They're just calling you. So they called us in the room. I'm like, okay, are they about to send us home or is this it? So I'm just looking around and I'll always remember I was standing next to Kaylin. And at the time, she was somebody that I looked up, like a fan of Kaylin. And they said, y'all made the team. And I'll never forget, I just broke down crying and I'm hugging like, oh my gosh, I'm hugging Kaylin. Like, what is it? It was very exhilarating because it's like all of the work that you put in led to this moment. It just felt very earned, if that made sense. The hard work, the staying up late at night, being hard on yourself, just well preparing for this moment and for it all to come to that was just very, it was an undescribable feeling, honestly.
I feel like I was just in shock. They called my number and I didn't even realize that it was my number. So they said the number and I looked down and I was like, oh wait, that's me. And then we all walked up and I'm like, wow, I'm literally on the team with Z. Like, I don't know if y'all know Zalia, but I literally love Zalia. Zalia Henderson, I love her. And we got the same last name, like how? But I don't know, I was just so, I don't want to say starstruck because they are regular people, but I just love them so much and the fact that I made it, and I made it my first audition, and most people can't say that. So I was just very grateful and I was literally in shock the whole time.
So being that we've all experienced something like that, I feel like we also always have to have someone that inspires us or motivates us, something or someone during that time period, all of your years. Who or what motivated you, inspired you, made you want to push?
Honestly, you did. You did. Just knowing I feel like we had this moment this morning, y'all. We was watching Scandal. And we literally we make the same like reaction noise or whatever. But when I realized that we are truly like the same person and we faced similar like adversities in college, dancing, how I went just to class, just how I carried myself. And even till now, I still have that moment like, what would Gabby say? What would Gabby do? How would she react if I told her X, Y, and Z? So all through college and even now, I can honestly say, you're like right up there with my mom. Like I always think about what would my mom say, and then also like what would Gabby say. So,
okay, I would definitely say my mom. Maybe I shouldn't say anything because I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold it together. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and I feel like a lot of things happen in my household, and I feel like my mom has always, no matter what's going on or against adversity, my mom has always been our biggest cheerleaders. When I say every single game or every single thing it is that me or my sisters were doing, because we all cheer against, she was there and there 100% fully, just 100% offering herself to anything it was that she could do. And I just felt like I owed it to her to just do my best. And I still feel like that today because she's given so much. So I would definitely say my mom. And she's always made us feel like you said, our dreams are never too big to accomplish. She's just always spoken so much life into us my whole life. So I would definitely say my mom.
I would say the biggest thing that I faced was, I think so many people want a position, but they really just want the title. They don't understand what the position comes with, because it's almost like a pyramid. When you get all the way up to the top, there's only so many people that can fit up there. So your decision making, everything you do is critical. It's like that point. Like it's very critical. And I think that was the biggest challenge for me because everything I did was scrutinized. And that's fine. It's not a complaint. That's what comes with the territory. Because even though the team is the team, to people outside, you are the face. So if so-and-so in the back mess up on the field, it's not so-and-so messed up, she got to work it out. It's so-and-so messed up, Gabby ain't doing her job. That's what it is. And so it's like, I got to be the eyes and ears for everything. And that's a lot. Like, just having that weight, it's a lot. I would say that was the biggest obstacle.
The fact that people wanted you to be perfect as a dancer. I have never said I was the best dancer on my team. Never. I never will say it, right? There are people out there who are better than me that I've danced right beside them. And there were people that were better than me when I was captain. That is great. I want good people on my team. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's hard for people to understand that because you're chosen to be captain, it's not because you're the best dancer. It's because you do have great leadership skills. It's because you have great communication skills. It's because you show up on time. You have consistency. You have all these things, and you can keep a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? I might not be the most flexible. I might not be the best, but I will say I think that I'm the best candidate to be captain. You know what I mean? I'm going to advocate for myself on that, regardless of such and such dance circles around me. I could truly care less. I'm not lying. You know what I mean? And I can say like, I have like, there's not hostility, but like a little aggression behind it, because it's like, I feel like when you are a dancer, people only want to see you for your physical attributes of what you bring to dance, but it is so much more. You have to emote. You have to be able to work well on a team. Like, it is so much more than just going out there, hold a field show and do these counts and sell it. It's so much more.
I'm gonna bring you into it. They expect you to be your cap. I feel like I had to deal with that a lot. Like,
oh, she didn't do that like Gabby did. Whole time Gabby's in my ear like, girl, be better than me. I want you to exceed past what I did. But no, like, I feel like people didn't see that. They wanted me to be just like you. And you kept saying like, no, like, you are your own person. I don't expect you to do things the way I do things. So just being in the middle of that. It was more so like the comparison, now that I think about it, because I had some heavy hitters before me. Like, my captain was KG, and then after that it was Kiana. Like, she's a beast, And so like the comparison of like, oh, like, what is Amber gonna do? Like, or Kiana was this, or KG was this, but at the end of the day, like, I'm Amber, Like, I'm gonna bring something different, like, whether that's this to the stands, whether that's this to the field, But at the end of the day, like, this is what I want to do, and that's something that even my sponsor asked me, like, when I got the position was, what do you want to be remembered for? What type of captain would you like to be? Because you're the person that has to, carry this role, so.
So how was it navigating being a dancer and trying to be a normal student, if normal is even a word to us? Like, how was that time frame?
I feel like the only normal thing is going to class. Other than that, we're not normal. Yeah. We can't go to parties, the homecoming festivities, we're at practice. We can't go out because we have to get ready in the morning early for the game. You have parades, your schedule is literally packed between class and performances. So I feel like the only thing that's normal really is class. Or if you join other organizations, but you don't really have time for the other organizations.
I want to piggyback off of what Cam said, because that's definitely true. I think I was very grateful to have like a really fun roommate. Like, my practice, I had that type of friend group where they knew, okay, that was my Gigi friend. She got practice. So, we're going to go ahead and set up Uno and get pizza and all this other stuff. And we're going to buy stuff from the cab, even though we know you're not supposed to eat it. We just going to save you a little box. And then when you get here, you got to catch up. So my friends, we always just basically did everything indoors. So I feel like it gave me a lot. It gave me a lot of relief, especially for my mental. Because being a freshman and having to learn how to adapt to the style, being around all of these vets, it's a lot to take in. So that normal life is definitely needed. So get you some good friends.
So you probably won't ever get to be a normal student unless you fight for that yourself. I would say, looking back, I'm like, hey, I did nothing in college. I mean, I don't even know where this place is that everybody's posting nowadays. Like, I didn't get to experience much because I also didn't push myself to experience much. I was cool with being in the box of, I'm going to practice, I'm going home, I'm going to practice, I'm going home. So I would say for you guys, when you do make a team and you do go there, do what you need to do first, get your feel in, follow the rules, and then after that, go figure out how to still be young and turn. You know what I mean? And in a way where it's still respectful to your organization, but you don't look back and say, dang, I can't, because you can't go do it again. Yeah, it's never going to be the same.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, because I actually was a freshman first. Before I even made the team, I got a chance to experience my freshman year. I never really was the party type, but I did, do a few things, and being able to like see the difference, because one year I was there and then the next year I wasn't, it was a huge difference. Because like Amber said, you can still have a life, but it's a lot of prioritizing that you have to do, because obviously practice comes first, for one. And then for two, everything, like the girls have been saying, you're watched. So it's almost like, I don't even want to go to this party no more, okay? Like, I don't even want nobody to see me, because it's just like, and to a certain degree, it's important because it holds you to a different standard. But at the same time, you do have to find ways to enjoy yourself without, feeling like I just can't go, because you do want a life. You don't want to get to this age and be like, dang, what? what they said the club was. Like, where was the union? Like, you just don't want to experience that.
I stayed in my room, one, because my parents were hard on me with my studies, but it was also because I didn't feel like going outside and then somebody said this and get back to Dr. Oliver and now set out her game. Quick story time. As a freshman, one of us, we took a picture, just a simple, regular, silly picture in the room. We're not supposed to be taking pictures or be on social media, whether it's us or somebody else posts us on social media at that time. And somehow, some way, it got airdropped. The picture that we took got airdropped to somebody in the caf. We were all in the cafeteria. And they posted it on Twitter and was like, these freshmen real cute. And after that, we got set out for that game, and I learned a hard lesson, a hard lesson. After that, I was just put up. It was no.
So we all know that, like, when we're on the team, we're constantly 25-8 with women. How is that, having your sisters on the team? They're genuinely like your sisters because you spend every moment with them. How important is that? What's that like? What does that feel like? Is it like a normal, like, blood sister relationship, or what's some of the things that are a little bit different for you?
I ain't gonna say we all genuinely like each other, right? Because you're not gonna like everybody, right? And you're not going to be besties with everybody. You're gonna click up, you're gonna have your few that you're like, that's my dog, and like, that's my sister, but that's my dog, right? And I think what you just have to do is you have to just remember, you gotta keep it professional. One, we pay. Stingers do pay to be here, right? So just because I pay to be here, I'm gonna have to do things a little bit differently because I can't waste $2,000+. One. But two, you just kind of have to make it worth it because you're going to spend this time with those people, and you just got to create and foster an environment where you want to actually go to practice and not be around people you don't want to be around. But then two, once it's over, it's a good idea to still try to keep a somewhat of a relationship with them. If it's just even happy birthday on social media, because at the end of the day, these are the same 9 people I have did these things with, and I can't do it again with another 9. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what you create it.
I would also like to piggyback off of Amber because I came from a big crowd class too. In 2019, it was 9 of us.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And literally I was the only child up until that point, felt like. So I'm used to, I have my own space, I have my own freedom. So now I have to share with 8 other girls. We gotta ride in the same car, like, excuse me? And then everybody's from everywhere, because of course you're at a college, so you have people from Jackson, you have people from all over the world. I even had a sister from like Wisconsin, like we're just all different people, all different personalities. Like, girl, it felt like it was real ghetto at one point. But we really had to figure it out, like, because I think someone, I couldn't remember who said it, but you're only strongest as your weakest link. And that has a lot to do with your sisterhood, your bond. Like, if you don't have any type of relationship, or you don't know how to, basically coexist at least, baby, it's gonna be a tough year. So you gotta just go ahead and find out what you like about them. And then you'll get over it. Like, that's literally how you have to do it. So yeah, I feel like that was my first taste of sisterhood. Seriously, they feel like my blood.